Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Brooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Go.
Hello, welcome to the Out Show on BKS1 Radio. It's your girl, Latoya Chanel. And unfortunately tonight, my counterpart and co-host and BFF, Queen B, will not be with me, but we all send her healing and hope that she feels better on tonight. So it is just me. I'm alone and I am doing this, but it is okay. You guys are you stuck with me for a little bit. We do have an amazing guest who is going to be joining us in a few, so we will get to that shortly. In the meantime, like we always do, I'm just going to go ahead and talk to you guys the way I would talk to my friends. So first and foremost, I want to know, how is everyone doing? I'm here. I'm well. That's only by, what I believe in. So for me, that is only by grace. I'm well. I'm here. Still working. We have made it to a year, everybody. It is officially, let me check my calendar. It is officially March 16th. We have been home a year, right? So I don't know if it was your job or just my job, but when we left on the 13th of March last year, we were only supposed to be home for 2 weeks, everybody. Just 2 weeks. 2 weeks just to slow down the curve, and then we were going to come right back in office. It is now, I'm counting on my calendar, guys. It has been a year and 3 days. So what is that, 368 days later? For something that was only supposed to be 2 weeks, and then we were supposed to go back to normal? What happened? I mean, clearly we all know what happened. For those of us who are still here by the grace and mercy, we made it through 2020, and we're also surviving the first quarter of 2021. But it's just crazy that it is already a year later and we are still home and we are still here. But it's also a blessing for all of us who are here right now that we are still here, right? So I want to know, how are you guys doing? Talk to me in the comments. Let me know what's going on with you. Let me know how this year has been for you. What has been some of your major changes this year? I'm always interested in people's spirits and interested in people's thoughts. I want to know, what major revelation have you stumbled upon in the midst of struggling through 2020? Or what major change happened to you that was in a good way, maybe, that happened throughout 2020 to 2021? You guys can go ahead and talk to me in the chat. I have my other laptop here, so I'm never really completely alone as I do these shows, but go ahead and talk to me and I'll read your comments live now. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm still here. I'm still fine. I'm still blessed to be able to do this show. Still blessed to be able to talk to you guys, whether I'm in the studio or if I'm here from my home office. So, I always do that with my partner, Miss Queen B. But I do want to discuss some hot topics because there have been some things that has gone on this week. So first, I'm going to go with one of the most obvious ones, the STEMI, right? So just as of last week this time, I remember walking into my room and the TV was on and Joe Biden was on, and he was President Joe Biden was on, and he was literally talking about, this was it 1.9 trillion stimulus payment that we were all going to be receiving, and how that resulted in $1,400 a person. So if you're a parent and you claim dependents on your taxes, then you receive $1,400 per person. So that's for yourself, that's for each child. And it was literally just Tuesday? No, he signed it, Thursday? I believe he signed it on Thursday. And by Saturday, I was already getting text messages. I was already getting phone calls. It was already all over social media that people were getting this stimulus payment, which is, affectionately known as the stimmy. Now, you guys are hilarious. Social media is hilarious. The internet is hilarious. All of the memes that have come about from the stimmy and what everyone wants to do with their $1,400, from ordering whale at Red Lobster to fixing the ice cream machines at McDonald's and pancakes with Louis Vuitton symbols on it, have been absolutely hilarious. And while all of that is funny and we sit and laugh, I really want to know, what is everyone's plan? I do recognize the purpose of a stimulus payment is to stimulate the economy. So the more you stimulate the pockets of the inhabitants of the country, the more you stimulate the economy in any which way you choose to do so. But I want to know who has some really serious plans for this additional income. What are some of the things that you guys are really thinking about doing, whether it's, starting a business or a down payment on, I don't know, will this contribute to a down payment for a home? What could it do? Are you pooling your money together with people because you have big plans of things that you want to purchase and or buy, or investing or savings, or, what are some real plans and goals that people have? And you know what, if you don't have any real plans or goals, and if it's, hey, catch up on my bills, or hey, my account is in a negative, it'll clear me out, or hey, I have credit card payments that I need to pay on, or student loan payments that I need to pay on. Speaking of student loans, are we wiping those away? I thought we were wiping away student loan debt. I mean, I know he hasn't even been in office 100 days, but the way they sped up that stimmy payment, they can really speed up this erasing student loans, because I personally am ready for those to go. But that's just me. In the meantime, though, I want to know, what are some of your plans? If you have some really good and great plans with what you want to do. In the meantime, that's just one of the things that has happened in the last week, in the last 7 days. One of the others has been a bit more controversial, and it occurred this weekend. So, famous gospel singer, lead, sometimes minister, Mr. Kirk Franklin. I'm not sure. If you haven't heard the story, then here it goes. I'm about to tell you. So over the weekend, apparently, Kirk Franklin, you all know him from Stomp. You all know him from all of his gospel songs, starting off Tamala Man and David Man and a few others. He's married and has children, and apparently got into a disagreement with one of his sons. Now he has a 33-year-old son, whom he has explained on his social media page has been giving him and their family trouble for some time now. So they've had a very difficult time in dealing with his 33-year-old son. I'm not sure the exact story, but whatever it is, things seem to come to a head over the weekend when his 33-year-old son shared a voice recording of gospel artist Kirk Franklin cursing out the son. And when you listen to it, you hear a bunch of explicit words or sentence enhancers, as I like to call them, being used towards the son. and what Kirk will do to the son if he continues to disrespect him. Now, I want to know everyone's thoughts on this, because I have seen everything from he's not a real Christian, he shouldn't be doing that, to apparently when he got saved, he didn't, what is it that I saw? Apparently when he got saved, he wasn't delivered from this kind of talk, to he needs to issue an apology to everyone, to I don't see what the man did wrong. This is perfectly normal. Oh, well, his son is grown. I mean, you know, and while I am going to speak about both sides of some of the comments that I'm seeing, the biggest thing to me is, did his son prove him right? So with all of the names that he called them, and with all of the disrespect that Kirk Franklin said he wasn't going to accept from him, you have a 33-year-old son. I just want everyone to think about this. 33. He's grown. He's grown at 33. And you know your father is a gospel artist. You know his ministry. You know what he preaches. Furthermore, you know how he makes his money. You know the business that he is in. And you know the very critical world that we live in, because this is not the first time that Kirk Franklin has been in the news, done an interview, or anything else. So you two are having a personal disagreement, and you chose to record your father and share it because what? What did you think was going to happen from this? And with so many people having Kirk Franklin's back right now, my question is, if they did not have his back, and this world of cancel culture that we live in the African-American community, what if everyone did decide to cancel Kirk Franklin? What if no one else bought any more of your daddy's CDs, downloaded any more of his music? What if he was completely ostracized from cursing you out? What then happens to you? How do you live? Because I'm sure in all the 33 years, as far back as you can remember, you've probably pretty much lived a pretty privileged life, because Kirk Franklin has been popping for a long time now. So in all your existence on this planet, you probably have never had to struggle for anything. You probably have never really had to pay for anything on your own or live a normal life because of everything that your father has done. So in trying to ruin his reputation, what would that have done to you? Are we thinking, people? Honestly, are we thinking? Are we? What is the old statement? You cut off your nose to spite your face. Why? What are you thinking about? At this point, it doesn't matter if you feel like he hasn't been delivered enough as a Christian, or if you feel like he was 1,000% right. I think the bigger issue that we are having here is the fact that, just like the saying is, it be your own family. It really be your own family. This is really a case where you know exactly how your father makes his money, and you would do anything to sabotage that. Why? You know, we're going to talk about, some of these things a little later on. We have an amazing life coach and spiritual leader who is going to come on and talk to us in just a few. But why do we do this? Why do we do this as a people? You know, I mean, we're really going to be talking about more so, you know, Black women in our culture, but just as people, knowing how your father makes money, are you making claims of abuse? Are you making claims that he's done more than that? What was your point? What was your purpose? Or were you just feeling like you were just showing the tip of the iceberg because this man really is some kind of monster? What was your point in sharing that argument? Because in my eyes, and I don't like to call people stupid, but that was the stupidest act ever. Now, like I said, it has gotten mixed reviews. I mean, even on social media. And yes, Mr. Franklin did come out and he apologized to everyone who follows him and everyone who's ever, you know, patronized any of his music or whatever it is that he's had going on. And then he did have to explain a personal family situation that he's dealt with, you know, a lot of disrespect and a lot of issues with his son for a very long time now, and how he's not perfect. And sometimes, you know, things just blow up. I feel like all of us can completely understand that. I don't care how holier than thou most of us think we are. I feel like we all know that we are human, and sometimes things happen, whether that was the first time or if he really has had trouble with this son for years now. And, you know, and this was just him blowing up for a third time, maybe in the course of 10 to 20 years. It can happen. It can happen. But again, my question is, did you think you were going to ruin your father? And if you thought you were going to ruin your father, what would that have done to you? We got to start thinking, people. Did 2020 not teach us anything? If this young man, well, he's grown. He's 33. He's still a young man, but he's grown. If he has any mental or developmental issues or whatever the case may be, then fine, I understand. Hopefully he gets some kind of help. But in the event that it is just you being a 33-year-old disrespectful human being to the person that brought you in this world, then yeah. I'm mad at the son. That's just my take on it. What's your take on it? You guys put your comments in the chat. Talk to me and let me know. Again, this is the Out Show. This is BKS1 Radio. It's your girl, Latoya Chanel. My partner, Queen B, is out for tonight, but we do have a guest who is going to be virtually with us in studio coming up in just a bit. Tonight, we are going to be talking about, because it's March, so it is Women's History Month. So I just wanted to discuss all things women and all things minority women and, you know, our mental and emotional state, because that is obviously something that is near and dear to my heart because A, I am a woman. B, we also have survived 2020 and all that it has brought with it, and just the state of us as Black women. There's so many things going on. There's so many great things. I don't want to just focus on the negative. There's so many positive things. There are so many Black women that have done amazing things just in the last year alone. We are everywhere. We are all over the place. I'm not sure if you saw the Grammys on Sunday, and even if you did not see the Grammys, then my hope is that you saw just the recaps, you know, all of the recaps on social media. My hope is that you saw that Beyonce is now one of the artists who has received the most Grammys of is it the most Grammys of all time? Is that what it is? Or am I wrong? Am I saying that correctly? Everybody, you guys help me out with that. But I believe it is one of the most it's the most Grammys of all time. And if so, and if that is the case, I want to say kudos and congrats to her, because we're doing things. You know, we've had her with the Grammys. You had Meg Thee Stallion on the Grammys. You know, we had who else? There was so much that has been going on. You have Stacey Abrams in Georgia. You have who else? We're just doing big things everywhere. We have an African American vice president. We have there's just a lot happening for us. Just as sorry guys, I'm actually fixing my phone here. Hopefully you just bear with me for a hot second as I get myself together. But yeah, we have an African American woman that is vice president. We are just doing major things as Black women. And I just want to make sure we are having the right conversations. We're having the conversations where we are cleaning up in-house first. You know, we talk about that. My partner and I talk about that a lot on the show. We talk about how easy it is to focus on the other conversations, how easy it is for us to discuss the workplace and not making as much as Caucasian men or women of other races, and what it's like to work in those environments, and things we deal with, and microaggressions, and you know, and all of the things that we have to deal with, and maybe not receiving as much moral and emotional support as women of other races, because we're just always supposed to just be strong and endure. And while all of those conversations are important and definitely need to be brought to light, I also want to make sure that we are also having those in-house conversations too. I want to make sure that we are discussing how it is that we deal with each other. You know, sister to sister. Can you work in your office with other Black women? You know, and this is a question that many people don't want to tackle because it's seen as negative, and it's seen as you know, focusing on things that we don't necessarily need to talk about, but it's very real. You know what I mean? It's very real. It's a very real topic. It's a very real problem. You have Black women that swear that they don't ever want to work with another Black woman. You have Black women that swear that they don't ever want to work underneath and have a boss that's another Black woman because of bad experiences, because of ego, because of hurt, because of aggressive or intimidating behaviors. And I want to know why that is. You know, I got into a conversation with a coworker of mine a little earlier today, and we were having this very talk. And when you are in an environment where you are lucky enough to have more than one of you in a specific space, in a specific department, in a specific company, and then all of a sudden those two Black women don't get along. What is that about? What is that about? Are you purposely being pitted against one another because everyone feels like there needs to be a constant comparison because there only needs to be one of you there? Is that by design? Or is it insecurity? Do you feel like you need to be pitted against another sister in a work environment? So now you start coming up with things that are wrong with her, or you start coming up with issues that are not necessarily a big deal because you think that she may make you look bad, or maybe quite the opposite. You know, maybe she's doing a lot better than you are, and you don't want to be compared to her. Whatever it is, we can't continue to act like it's not a very real issue, because it is. And so while we talk about all of these achievements, from Grammys to vice presidencies to winning elections and voting to business with, Black women during the pandemic, starting more businesses and sustaining families and households and this, that, and the other. While we talk about all the great things, I just want to make sure that we are also cleaning up some of the other areas that have been brought to light too. Because again, all of them are very real, very real. We're going to talk about that more with some professionals coming soon. But I just wanted to to start that conversation. I just wanted you all to think about that along with me as we move forward. In the meantime, like I said, we are going to have an amazing guest who's going to be with us in the next few minutes, but I wanted to just discuss a few hot topics. So, of course, we already discussed this STEMI that is coming out, and we also discussed Kirk Franklin and what happened with him and his son, unfortunately, this week. And, those are just my few hot topics. So, again, like I said, it is the Our Show. It's BKS1 Radio. It's your girl, Latoya Chanel. And I am here. I don't know what's going on with my phone. My phone is acting really, really crazy right now. And I don't understand why. Like I said, it's your girl, Latoya Chanel. It's the Our Show. It's BKS1 Radio. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to begin to introduce my next my guest for the evening. I did a virtual program for NJPAC last night where we discussed Black women in a corporate environment. One of the speakers specifically said, what advice would you give to other Black women coming into corporate, and what advice, would you give to yourself if you could go back? One of the ladies said, I would give this advice now, and I wish someone had given this advice to me 20, 30 years ago. Number one, in trying to be a successful Black woman in this world, corporate environment, reaching your dreams, goals, whatever, she said, number one, I would advise you to find a therapist. She said, find a therapist. Now, why find a therapist? Because so many of us have so many issues that need to be worked out. And you need to be in a healthy headspace in order to grow and in order to achieve, right? And so we talked about, just dealing with other sisters in certain environments. And when there are issues that arise, a lot of it is because 9 times out of 10, someone probably needs to go to therapy. The second thing that she recommended, and she said she wished that someone had told her, was to find a life or business coach. 2 separate things. One is a therapist, one is a life or business coach. One helps you to unpack, the other helps in assisting you with your goals to move forward. She said she wished she had both, on her journey to success. And the third thing she said was a publicist, so that someone can document all of your achievements throughout the years, throughout your career. And a lot of what this speaker said stuck with me because A, I have done those things, but B, you don't recognize how important all of these individuals are to your life and to your development. So I want you all to give a virtual round of applause to my guest tonight, whom is Miss Mary Deans, life coach, as we sit back with her and discuss reaching some of our goals. Jeff, can you bring Mary on camera? Hello.
Hello.
You are here. You made it.
Made it. How are you?
I am well. How are you? You look fabulous.
Why, thank you. So do you, as always.
You look fabulous. You look absolutely amazing. How have you been throughout all of this time period? Everything going on. How have you been?
I have been great. I mean, of course, we miss live shows. You know, you miss stuff that you took for granted and didn't think about. Like, I got to go to a live show. I need to hear some live music. I need to see a large crowd of people and not be nervous. Right. I need a stamp in my passport ASAP. So I'm with everyone else. We are, as soon as the coast are clear, we're ready to roll.
Yeah.
I am great. Business is growing great. And everything is everything. I can't complain at all.
That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So I'm not sure if you heard, but I was just telling our guests that so last night in my 9 to 5, which at this point it is becoming 9 to 9, we did a virtual program from New Jersey Performing Arts Center, and it was Black Women in Business was the title. And we had some amazing Black women who were on the panel. It was a panel of women who were speaking. And one of the speakers said what she wished she had just coming into corporate world 20, 30 years ago, advice that she wish was given to her, and advice that she'll just impart within the next generation. She said, one of the first things you need to do is you need to have a therapist.
Yeah.
You need to have a therapist. She said, that's number one. Number two, she said, you need a life/business coach.
Yes.
Two different things.
Yes.
But you need these individuals in your life. And then the third thing she said, was you need a publicist, and you need a publicist to document your successes along the way in your career and as you grow. And so right now I want to focus on what it is that you do. So we've had you on before, but I want to focus in on what it is that you do and why that is so important to your success in life.
Yes. So starting with, like, everyone says, why do I go to a coach? Why go to a therapist? Blah, 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 blah. Therapists, they deal with the past to the present. So, I mean, they can help you with your issues today, but your daddy issues, your abandonment issues, your rejection issues that will impede your present is what you need your therapist for. Because face it, no matter how great our childhood is, something affects us all differently. A coach is the present forward. So you call a coach, just like in football players, you can have all the greats on the field, but you need someone with a broad view who can put the players in the correct place to get the plays completed and the touchdowns made so the game can be won. So what I do, I'm sure you do as well as a coach, is I help you realize the players you have on the field and win with the cards you have dealt. I help you. Coaches serve as the plug. We connect you with where you need to go. We help you form a strategic plan to get from point A to point B. Most coaches have their own niche. My niche is I'm the person that, hey, I know where I want to go. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to begin. So I'm that person that says, okay, let's look at where you are. Let's look at what you have. And sometimes you just need that person right beside you that says, hey, you're discounting this part of your life, this part of your personality. You take this as just a regular thing, but that part of you is so impactful and is so meaningful. And it's what's missing from your work that turns you from just making it to being profitable, to being a household name. Sometimes you just need to tap into who you are, what you have, and get someone on your side to help you put the pieces, develop a strategy, and get it to work, get some action plan and some results. So that's what we do as a coach. That's why you need us both. You need us both.
Yeah. And so I want to know, so you said, I want to focus more on what your niche is. So tell me what that is.
So every person, every coach, you have your skill set. You might be called to creatives. You might be called to athletes. I'm called to the person who's transitioning, who has a goal in mind, but they have that glass ceiling. Like, I've been doing it this way for this long, and I just can't see, I can't get past here. Or you might have gone through something and life has completely flipped for you, and now you're left with a clean slate and you don't know where to begin. I myself, that's where I struggled. I knew I was gifted. I knew I had a speaking gift. I knew I had this and that. Sometimes you can be so gifted that you don't know where to focus, or you don't know where to hone it in, and how that it's okay to incorporate all of that into what you do. I know a nurse who sings and she was like, how in the world can I incorporate my creative or my musical? You know why? Because the memas and papas that you are called to take care of need someone who's going to encourage them and brighten their day. You can be who you are. Sometimes what's missing from our life, or how we're lacking the passion, is because we can't connect the pieces of our personalities.
Right.
So I have to take off my creative hat to go work my 9 to 5, and you wonder why you hate it. You know, I have to take off, my analytical mind and go work a mundane job. We help as coaches in my niche. I just help you put the pieces together and use the pieces in front of you to determine what's your life purpose and how to move therein. We're all unique. We're all special. That's why we all have to work individually on our own path and not be afraid to go for it.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I want to know, so you have clients now. We are in a realm where we are coming outside of 2020. 2020, for some, has been an amazing year, and for others has been a completely awful and devastating year. I want to know, what are some trends that you're seeing with some of your clients?
One of the main trends I see is that, anytime something global has an effect on everyone, there is a leveling of the playing field and a dose of reality that hits. That, remember the old commercial, life comes at you fast. You can be here today, gone tomorrow. Unfortunately, in 2020, death and the reality of our mortality became very real, because literally you were scared to be anywhere someone coughed for fear that cough could lead you to a ventilator. So the trend I saw is, hey, I've been sitting here working, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, but I feel like I know I'm supposed to do this, I know I'm supposed to do that. And, how do I move forward? How do I put something in place? The second trend also is a lot there. It was such a significant financial impact. So many people lost their jobs. So many people realized that their jobs aren't as stable or as reliable as they thought they were. The reality of needing multiple sources of income became very real. And to be able to take your business, I like to call it, from the Blockbuster phase to the Netflix phase, leaving the brick and mortar, leaving the traditional structures of a business model, and transitioning it to an online, internet-based pack it up, move it wherever you need to be, flow. So again, it goes back to the word transition. A lot of people, whether they wanted to or not, were forced to transition from the standard way of operation to, I got to broaden it. I need more money. I need another source of income. I need to be more self-reliant. And so I had some great success with clients who were able to actually take what would have been a very hard time for all of us, capitalize on the time, and now they're prospering and moving into areas that were real dreams earlier last year. Sometimes we have to use the negativity around us as fuel to go. Like, you know, COVID or not, you could be here today and gone tomorrow. The worst thing you could do, TD Jakes said, is to die full, you know, full of dreams, full of hopes, full of woulda, shoulda, couldas. The condition is never going to be perfect. Doesn't mean you can't step out and go using what you have.
Okay. I mean, one of the key things you said, and you said it the last time that you were on the show, and you said it now too, is the pandemic leveled the playing field. And that has resonated with me in so many ways. Literally, to what it is that you and I are doing right now is the exact same thing that Oprah is doing right now. Drew Barrymore's show literally has no one in studio but airs every single day. And she is doing this. Now they just have the technology where it makes it look like they're all in the same studio every day, but in fact they're not. So it's literally who you know, what's your platform, and the bulk of everything that's being done is nothing has changed. It's exactly the same. You know, and that's just in this particular field. You know what I mean? But it's that way all across the board. And so I feel like that is definitely one of the silver linings that came out of this, that if you did not think that you could make it, if you did not think that your skills were valuable, if you did not think that what you did was just as important, I hope that a number of people found out that it was. You know?
I mean, to be successful during pandemic times, you literally need high-speed internet and a great camera. Little bit of light, just take the lamp shade off of your lamp, put it in front of you, start where you are, post a video. Musicians, you know, I have a client who is a musician, and she was like, I can't do live shows anymore. I mean, how many people have gotten famous singing 20 seconds on TikTok in the past 6 months? You know, we have to leave that blockbuster mentality of waiting for a brick and mortar to open. Use what you have, that $1,000 phone that you text and talk on all the time. Get a return on your investment. Put it in front of your face. Use what you have. Start. If the election taught us nothing, it taught us the power of grassroots. Start where you are with your circle. Talk. You don't do it for likes. Do it for impact. Do what is natural to you. Your gift will make room for you. I don't care. You don't have to be the best speaker. You don't have to be the best looking, but you do what you do with passion. And I promise you that passion will always pave a road. There are thousands of singers, thousands of albums that are released every week. There's something for everyone. You go out there, do what you do, and your tribe, your people will naturally gravitate to you. But you have to be persistent. You have to be consistent. And you have to have that personal integrity to yourself to work as hard for your dreams as you do for your paycheck.
Yeah.
And I promise you, you never know when opportunity and timing will collide, and it's your moment. Yeah. And all those videos that only got 1 like back then suddenly have millions. Right. But you be there and you be present to meet your moment, and it's going to happen. Yeah. Right now, I'm talking about Manifest Destiny in my group coaching, and, Manifest Destiny, not to go into it too deep, but
no, please go into it deeply. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm just going to briefly pause you. I ask you to go into it because even myself personally, I had watched an Oprah Soul Sunday with Michael Bernard Beckwith 3-4 years ago, where he was on there. 32 minutes that completely changed my entire life. And last week, when I first watched it, it was literally not just me watching and listening to it, but it was me studying it, meditating on the messages that were given until I was literally getting them down in my spirit, where I was doing it on a daily basis without thinking.
Right.
So it's to a point now that I do it so much I don't even think about it. But I felt like I needed a revival.
Right.
And so last week I began watching it again. And of course, that is always the message of what is it that you are manifesting, and your energy and your vibrations and then what you focus on. So ironically, you just so happen to be saying this today. So now you said you don't want to go into it too deep. I'm saying please go into it, because literally this is, and it's crazy because, they tell you once you begin to, think and move a certain way, you begin to radiate a lot of the principles that it is that you believe. Right. So I'm talking to you, never told you this prior to this conversation, and you were bringing it up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just, so please just go. I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna let you talk.
No. I love it. We have to dialogue. So, I was like, there's a point in business, especially when you're building, where you're doing a lot of stuff. Like, there's a lot that you have to do. You have to take the pictures. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to do the meet and greets. You have to do this interview, this, and you can get burned out. Just like, is this?
I'm currently home. I'm not doing half of the stuff that I used to do in person, where I was away from my home 7 days a week, doing just that. I'm sitting in this chair from 9 till 9 every day. And there's days where I'm like, absolutely not. I have to walk away from this chair. Go ahead. So I understand. Yes.
So so you have so much going on. And so it was when I finally quieted down that, it was like, okay, God, you got to help me, because why I'm striving, or I'm working hard to accomplish, I'm doing a lot of stuff, but what is it? Where is it? How do I get from here to there, kind of thing? And so I kind of like, I don't know, how you just fixate on something, and it was Manifest Destiny. And originally Manifest Destiny was America, the great little pretty little 13 colonies had multiplied. We're more than just, we're 13 colonies, but they are overcrowded, over capacity. More people want to come. And then there was this Manifest Destiny belief that America was supposed to spread coast to coast, Atlantic to Pacific. So, we all heard about Lewis and Clark. And so the Lewis and Clark expedition, they traveled to the Pacific coast, and they documented what they saw. They came back, reported the findings, and said, yeah, we got to do this. We got to go.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, you know, most people, it was a great divide in America because, oh, that's too grand. That's too big. You know, you're too full of yourself. No. We got to stay here. We don't want to grow. We don't know what's out there. You know, typical stuff, typical fear and resistance to change. But the president during that time, he said, I know we're supposed to go. And no matter what, we're going. And that is the belief that it is required for you to grow and obtain your destiny. I am too big for this little box that I'm in. And I have seen some things, whether it's up here, whether it's in the circles that you've been allowed to visit. There are some places I'm supposed to go. My taste proved to me that I'm bigger than this. You know, my eye, the places that God lets me sample, you know, I'm working a 9 to 5, but he's letting me tour mansions, you know, kind of thing. I'm with people who make 20 times what I make, you know, and you're allowing me to see something and experience something. And the biggest trigger for anyone is experience. Yeah. And so that's what happened. Lewis and Clark went out there. It's nothing you couldn't tell them because they've been there. They've gone. They've seen it. So you could tell them you're afraid and we don't need to go, but they know we're going.
Yeah.
And so translating that to us now, the first step, so destiny is actually an acronym. And the first step of that is define your powerful why. If whatever you're going to manifest.
Define your powerful why. Yeah. Define your powerful why.
Yes.
Be in destiny. Define your powerful why.
Define your powerful why.
Okay.
Because listen, you can go and do 100 things that mean absolutely nothing to you. But if you can define that one reason why you will get up and work from 9 to 9 every day, that one reason, and I promise you that reason is bigger than money because they don't pay you enough for the time you invest. No job, no client, no single client is going to pay you enough for what you have to offer and what you truly want. Our mind is funny. We can have a goal in mind, and by the time we reached it, our mind has shifted the goal in such a manner that we never completely achieve it. And a lot of times we chase it because our mind is constantly evolving, because the more we see, the more data it uses to process that place that it considers there. And so defining your powerful why.
Reach it.
You never reach it because it is an image that is constantly shifting, but we don't perceive its shift because we're always, how many of us get up and do these long days? And 10 years ago, this is what you prayed for, but you're sitting here today like, I just got to get here. Or I just, you know, if I could just do this. It's because you are constantly evolving, but you're not realizing that. But if you define your powerful why, not based on an image, but on a factor, the reason I work my 8 to 5 and then coach till 9, 10 o'clock at night, take phone calls any time of the night, return text messages, sit up on Saturday mornings and write all these posts, why I do these interviews, why I do that. What is your powerful why? My why is because I refuse to die without leaving an impact on this next generation. My why is that every product of a single parent home knows I don't care what you went through or what you didn't have growing up, but you can be anything and do anything. My why is so that my daughter knows, no matter what the circumstances is, yes, we live in a sexist society, but yes, you can be all you can be. So What is that powerful reason? My mother is sick and I have to care for her, and I don't want my mother to worry another day. So that's why I'm building an empire, because my empire has to take care of my mother and my grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
So
mm-hmm.
What is your powerful why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
That's good. That's good. That is good. I hope anybody who is listening right now is taking notes. And that's just D. We didn't even get to any of the other letters.
That's just D.
We didn't even get to anything.
Else. Define it. That's where you have to start.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have a definition, everything else is so much easier.
Define my powerful why.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. Keep going. Let's go. Let's just keep going. Let's go.
So,
mm-hmm.
we keep going. Okay.
Yeah, keep going. And you see, I picked up my pen. So I'm literally sitting here, I'm like, let me take notes on this. Okay, she said. Okay. All right. Listen, I'm not going to let these jewels and gems escape me. Please, I am forever a student. I don't care what I'm doing, where I am. I am going to stop and listen and be a forever student.
Same here.
You can keep going. Mm-hmm.
So we can tease E. So E is excellence in your pursuit. The Bible says that even in captivity, Daniel was preferred above all the hosts because in him was an excellent spirit. Even in captivity, you can stand out if you're the best at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Excellence is the difference between being noticed and being remembered. And a lot of times, great promotion doesn't come from being noticed. It comes from being remembered. And so in your pursuit of your destiny, it's not about being just a good singer. There are tons of good singers. Go to any church, go to any bar. There are great singers everywhere. But are you an excellent singer? Are you excellent? Are you an excellent coach? Are you an excellent employee? There's a difference, because talent, we've all seen the meme that talent can play itself. Because if I rely solely on my talent, I'll be forgettable, I'll be repetitive, and I won't have any impact. But when I mix my talent with performance, and effort, you remember it. That's where the jewels are produced. Jewels are produced in the excellence of the pursuit. You remember, I'm sure you've had interns or other people you've had to work for. The ones who were there for a grade and who had an actual passion to be there, who actually, there was a desire, there was a want, and that hunger fuels that want, and it makes you arrive on time, put in 100%, put in your best at that given moment. That excellence is the difference, again, between being noticed and being remembered. We are living in a very attention-centric time, but attention is fleeting.
Yes, it is.
Because we were all hung up on Gorilla Glue until Girl, until it was out her hair.
Yeah, and everybody, okay, she's good. And what's the next thing?
Okay, she's good.
What's the next thing on social media now?
Then we were, then we didn't want to see the memes anymore. We weren't loud. It wasn't.
Yes. At this point, it's just sad.
Yeah. We used to say, you're waiting on your 15 minutes, but thanks to social media, it's not even 15 minutes anymore.
You're at about 30 seconds at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to stop craving attention and be excellent, because excellence, it quantifies and qualifies us to be remembered, promoted. Promotion comes to those who are prepared. And in this time and in this generation, there are more philosophers on Facebook than any history book.
So many people just know so much, don't they? They know so much.
There's so many financial gurus, and there's so many coaches. Everywhere you go,
everybody got something to say.
But what makes someone listen to you or listen to me? You know what I mean? Amongst a million voices, your excellence will have you outlast. You're not in, when you're walking in excellence, you're not in competition with anyone.
Yeah.
You are in constant pursuit of a better you. And that is my definition of excellence. I don't do this just to say I did it, I do this because, back to the first step, I know my powerful why. I am building a sustainable empire that can support my mother and my grandchildren. That is my why. And so I have to be excellent, because my work today has an influence on who I am tomorrow. And I don't know who I'm crossing paths with today, but when they see me in 5 years, they will not just notice me, they will remember me, and I will be preferred because they know the excellence that is attached to my name. So no matter where you are or what you're doing, how you're doing it, even if you are the intern, be excellent wherever you are, whatever you're doing, because the person fetching you coffee today could be the CEO of a major firm in 10 years.
Yeah.
That's just how the world works.
It is.
And you got to be remembered, not just noticed.
Yeah. Is everybody taking notes? I mean, I'm not even joking. You think I'm listen. Again, I am a forever student in life, and I know messages can come at any time, so I always have my ears open. Because you never know what you can hear that will resonate with you and change your life. You could be anywhere. It could be anything. And 9 times out of 10, it's at those time periods where you feel like you're focused on one specific area. So I could be saying, oh, I'm doing this interview. I need to focus on this. I need to make sure this is right. I need to make sure my lighting, my camera, my this, the comments, the people watching, and I could not be getting something for me.
Right.
You need to always be ready. You need to be ye so ready.
Right.
Because you never know what's coming for you and what time. You don't the time. So I'm open. All right. Listen. D, define my powerful why. E, excellence in your pursuit. Let's go.
You're not going through all this tonight.
We're not gonna go through all of them.
No.
But we do. I want to tease the people at least
I got you.
Halfway.
Absolutely.
At least if we get DES
right
or DEST, then I and Y, you guys have to buy a book, log on, listen to. Whatever.
Right.
Yes.
So our S is service. And I don't care where you are or what you're doing, what you feel like you have obtained or not obtained. There, you have to always have a perspective that I remember where I was 5 years ago. I remember where I was 10 years ago. You know, I remember how it felt when that relationship broke up. I remember how I felt when my father died. There are certain places that I remember. And back to what we said earlier. So I've been to the therapist. I have my therapist. I have worked through my issues. And so those points of pain in my past now become a point of reference for service. You know, a lot of times we think of service, and I'm not knocking it. We definitely all need to do more of it. We think about feeding the hungry. We think about clothing the naked. And yes, that is all very important things. Service can be seeing 18-year-old you in a niece or a young lady or a young man, and investing what you wish you knew at 18 back into them. That reciprocal nature, you know, the Bible talks about the law of reciprocity. You sow what you reap. You know, you got to put good seeds constantly. You have to constantly plant. Whatever you plant, you're going to reap. There has to be a attitude and nature of service in everything we do. None of us have arrived. All of us have a different roadmap. And guess what? There is someone on your journey that you will be the best Bible they will ever read. And you don't have to be perfect. That's the problem. We were kind of put on a hard pew with the shiny, heavy book. And because it seemed so great and so big, it became perfection and something unobtainable. But Jesus was a regular guy walking around talking to everybody.
Exactly.
He was a regular carpenter working 8 to 5.
Yeah.
You know, you can be the Bible says we're living epistles. You are the best New International Version Bible someone will ever read.
Right.
If your life, your position where you are today, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, or maybe forgot, you prayed for this at some point in your life.
Yeah.
And someone's praying to get on the path to get where you are today.
To where you are. Yeah.
And this world where we live, especially right now, where we're kind of closed in, but yet the internet is so big.
Yeah.
We see so much and so lofty aspirations. You know, everyone has a phone of bands of money. Everyone's rich. Everyone's perfect. You know, everyone lives this perfectly filtered Photoshop life.
Right.
There is a line. I want to, you know, and I don't like to make broad statements, but I will. There's a line kind of between our generation and some of the generations underneath us, because that's the image they see. And they don't see any work that goes with that. You just look good. You know, you're just loud with it. They don't know that money is props for a play.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
They just see you in a waist trainer. They don't know that you had 6 rounds of surgery. You know, there is a disconnect.
And can't sit down or can't lay down or can't digest food properly or,
right.
But it looks
you're
good
getting
for those 30 seconds that I'm scrolling.
Right. You know, they don't see the injection marks like we do. Right. We don't know. They don't know that they had surgery and the picture is still Photoshop.
Honey, you know, I could tell you some stories. Go ahead.
There's a disconnect because though, you know, we see this stuff and whether we want to admit it or not, you know, sometimes it influences us. Sometimes we're like, you know what, whatever. Yeah. But there's a disconnect because they believe that.
Yeah.
And they think that's real.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of the younger generation have lost the aspiration that we have because you just wait to blow up on TikTok, get you enough followers so you can start getting a check from TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, get enough YouTube file. You know, there is a element of the grind that kind of fell off.
Yeah.
At the advent of social media and going viral, that as an act of service, we can tell them, you know, you could be a personality or you could be a producer gathering the personalities and making a check off all of them.
So if I'm understanding you correct, service encompasses the grit, service encompasses the grind.
Yeah.
Service is where you put together all of the experiences, all your time period when you're in the dark night of the soul, all your time while you're in the valley, all your time while you're being developed.
Yeah.
Those molding phases, that stage where you're literally putting the pieces together one by one, and it may not feel good, but you're moving forward anyway.
Absolutely.
So service is literally putting all of that together, because we know without the struggle, without the grit, without the grind, without the valley of wisdom, as I like to call it,
right,
then you can't get any further. You can't get any higher. You can't get to real success without it. Because
Absolutely.
The success that you do get to in this TikTok generation is fleeting. It's not real. And you may, you may get on to come up and get however many followers and do this for this particular time. But what a lot of people aren't realizing is that even when you can get to this particular level of success and you get there for 2 years, so for 2 years straight, you go from nothing to being a millionaire for 2 years, all off of a 30-second video.
Right.
That money has sustained you for this 2 years of life, and then you have to come back down here.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you come back down here, you are now worse off than you were before you got there, because you're still constantly trying to get back up there. And what does that do to your psyche? What does that do mentally and emotionally and eventually physically to you? That is why, it's funny. I had these conversations. I have these conversations with friends of mine and in my household and with my family often. The old drug dealer personality, you'll find that most young people that used to be in the streets, that started to make money at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, there's a reason why a lot of them are never able to get a job.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because the mentality is, why would I only make $15 an hour,
right,
doing all of this hard work, when I made $2,500 a day, standing on the corner for 45 minutes at a time?
Right.
When it's too much too soon, eventually you're going to get knocked back down.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same principle as skydiving.
Yeah.
You sat in the plane, parachute on your back, you climb to altitude, and you jump or are pushed out.
Yeah, right.
When I go, it will probably be pushed out.
Yeah, me too.
But, of course, I want to take the leap, but, you take the leap. Guess what? When you pull that plug, that parachute doesn't pull you back up. You're coming down. But if I take some stairs, step by step by step by step by step, I might drop something, go back down 5 steps. You know what I can do? Go right back up them. Go right back up. If you take someone who built where they are in life, and you can look at your own life. I can look at my own. I don't have to be a mega millionaire. But where I am today, have you ever been knocked back down to zero? I'm gonna tell you, that's how you can tell the real ones from the wannabe. Look, I'm trying to keep it professional. A real one, a true hustler, can sell anything, whether it's crack, shoes, whatever, because it's not about that one thing. It's something in you. It's something that is built. And no matter if you take the money or go, I can build it again. Have you ever had life knock you back down to square one? A real, you might sit and cry, but there reaches a point where the real in you says, all right,
all right, let me wipe this off. Come on, we got to get back. All right, let me see. I did this before. I tried this before. This didn't work before. That did work before. This got me here. That got me there. I'm going to do this. Right. But that is the grit. That is the grind. That is the valley. That is what is necessary.
Yeah.
Those are and this next generation, this microwave society wants to skip
the
hard part.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of dessert eaters. There's no vegetables.
Right.
Nobody wants to eat the vegetables. Everybody wants to go right to dessert. Have fun.
Yeah.
Make it look good.
And service lets you know, it allows you to go back and tell the story, because they are so often, they're given this facade. And then when it doesn't come easy, then they go looking for easier ways to try to cut. You can't skip the grind. You know what I mean? You can't. There are some things that have to be built in order to last. And that is where service comes. You are the personification of the grace of God. You are the personification of the realness of God. Some people will never believe in God until they see you. They won't even know he exists or they love him until they see you. Because they're taught they're nothing. They come from nothing. They'll never be nothing. God forbid, they have a kid, or this, they don't go to college, or this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen. They go to jail. This happens. Service says, yes, I've been divorced. Yes, I'm a single parent. And yes, we still get it every day. You can take it all away. And I promise you, I'll build it again. I'll build it stronger and faster than I did the last time, because I'm not new to this. I'm real to this. I'm true to it. And that is service. Service is putting a face to the possibility, because each and every one of us is a possibility. We're all a dream. We're everywhere. We prayed for this. We didn't know it or not. We might have been laid off. I was laid off, 10 years ago? Couldn't find a job.
I actually remember talking to you in the midst of all of that. So I
was laid off. Couldn't find a job. Like, what? Educated, everything you're supposed to be. And couldn't figure out, am I going to pay the rent or the car payment, or
which one?
How am I going to do this? And now today we're teaching people how to have multiple streams of income, and taking it a step further, not just multiple streams of income, produce one excellent product that pays you multiple ways. We're going, and 10 years ago, could we see ourselves sitting here today? No, absolutely not. Because we were too busy going through it. Services, looking at those going through it and say, I know where you are. And I know no one else can speak the language you speak, because you won't hear them, but you'll hear me. And let me help you see it's possible. You got it. Keep going. Lift your head. Do your work. Heal. We all been through something. It's okay to be Black and in therapy. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. Life coaches aren't just for Caucasians or people with money.
Girl. Okay. Can you repeat that again for the people in the back?
Let's say it one more time. Life coaches are not just for Caucasians or people with money.
Okay.
You should be your first investment.
Yes, you should.
Your future, your children's future. Back again. Why? Why are you here? Why do you need to be successful? And build from there. Let's get excellent. Let's tighten up our bad habits. And along the way, let's not wait for perfection or that I've arrived. Let's bring someone along on the journey so there is a constant celebration at the top, because it ain't just me going across the finish line. It's a line of us that are all going, because that's where we are. Again, the playing field was level because of COVID. Yeah. Wouldn't it be awesome if all of us were here? Not just me. Yeah. Me at 40, but what if I could have my nieces at 16? I already got businesses. I already got business licenses. You know what I mean? Already making multiple sources of income. Already understanding what credit is. Don't start. They're not starting at Fingerhut, or or a little card and messing up their credit because no one taught them. Right. Those little things, that take a village. It does. It takes a village of honest people. So I've been there, done that. You got it. Bring your baby with you. Let your baby walk across the stage to graduation with you.
Been there.
Let's go. Look, what's your excuse? Because I've been there, done that. You are the reality that all things are possible. Tell your truth. Heal from it so you can tell the truth. So,
I mean, you know what? All of this is I swear every single time you come on this show, it is like a course, it is a class, and I just literally completely go all out of interviewing mode. And if you could see my notebook, my notes here, I don't know if you can see them on the paper. Like I'm not sitting here scribbling. I am literally sitting here writing. And it's just a lot of amazing stuff. And God has blessed you to be in this arena, and what you have to share and the way you so eloquently put it for all to understand and for all to know and for it to get down in everyone's spirit is that you're already within your excellence right here. It's absolutely amazing. And I personally cannot wait to see what it is that you do next. I can't wait to see what it is that you have on the horizon, because I literally, as I'm working tomorrow, I am going to be playing this back and listening to this and take more notes. That's just, what I do personally. I am not a one-time message listener. I have to. I'm like, oh, okay. You know how some people will listen to a sermon and they're like, oh, I listened to so-and-so this day and this and so-and-so that. No. If I am listening to a sermon, best believe it is at minimum for a week.
Right.
And every day, a new part is going down into my spirit, or I'm meditating on a new part, or there's something that I heard that I need to now discuss with a girlfriend or discuss with my family, and because I need to get this down in my spirit, I'm taking notes, I'm doing this, so this will be a part of what it is that I will be listening to tomorrow. Unfortunately, we have only about 5 minutes left for the show tonight, because these shows go so fast. I swear it doesn't matter how long the show is. Once we start talking, it just completely zips by. Right. But again, like I said, I am definitely going to be listening to this again tomorrow, because everything you've said, and we only got to S.
Yeah.
For the acronym for Destiny, we literally only got to S, and I already feel enlightened, and parts of my life are changing, and wheels are turning, and things are moving and going. So I'm already just excited about the little bit that you did give tonight without giving everything away. So I wanted to know, what is it that you wanted to leave everybody with? So we have about 4 minutes left to the end of the program. What is it that you wanted to leave? Because I have viewers who are in the comments that are like, I'm taking notes to find your powerful why. Like, they're in the comments now. So I want to know, what is it that you would like to leave everyone with this evening?
What I would like everyone to take with them is, you are dope. You are dope. You are amazing. You are lit. However you want to define it, you are amazing. You were built to be amazing. You were handcrafted to be amazing. Some of us, you don't realize how dope you are because you discount so much of yourself to stay pleasing within your circle. But greatness is calling you. Destiny is calling you, and you know it, you feel it. That's why you're slightly miserable, but you hide it. That's why you keep burning out. Don't care how many vacations or days off you take. It's because there's destiny calling. There is a place that your feet are supposed to walk on, and not just walk on, you are supposed to spread out and occupy. But first, you got to know, and you have to settle within yourself that you are dope. You are just the way God made you to be. And it's time to heal, and it's time to move on. And it's time to do that hard work that you kind of shy away from, because there are some places in your story you don't want to go. But the truth is, the money you seek is in the delivery of your story. And you gotta take the pain out of it to access the profit in it. And so my encouragement, I mean, it sounds probably really corny, but my encouragement to you is, you are dope. You understand that God arranged the freaking solar system and the alignment it is in, put all these generations past all the way to you, just to set you up in this space for you to walk this earth, not for you to be miserable, not for you to be second guessing yourself, but for you to know you are dope. Because when you realize it and you accept it, then you will take your dope self on and go do what you're supposed to do and not just what you have to do. I want everyone to just take inventory of who you are, what makes you dope. Even if you just write it out. I'm a creative. I can sing. I'm fashionable. I have an eye that others don't have. I'm a great listener. Everyone brings their problems to me. In some kind of way, I help. I'm a fixer. Take inventory of your dopeness and then ask God, why did he give you all of that? And watch him put the pieces together, align you with the right people, that therapist, that coach, and that publicist to help you craft the life, the destiny, help you manifest who you really are. Because it's who you really are is the person you see in the dreams. Yeah. Who you really are is the person who likes all those expensive things, you know. Yeah. That's your true nature showing you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with liking nice stuff. Yeah. That's your true nature bidding you to tap into your dopeness to get you to where your soul knows you're supposed to be. So my encouragement to you today, you dope, boo. Figure out why.
I have nothing else to say. And I mean that. I am literally not joking. I have nothing else to say. I don't think there is a better way to end this show This was absolutely amazing. I will be listening to this for the rest of the week and beyond, just so you know. And you are welcome to come back anytime to the show. Tell people how they can find you. For everyone who is looking for a life coach, how can they find you?
Visit my website, marydeans.com. marydeans.com. On the page, I have a free intro to coaching session you can sign up for if you want the one-on-one. You say, hey, Mary, I'm one of those people. I've been through a transition, or I feel like I'm at a glass ceiling. I got all these players on the table. I don't know how to organize them. Talk to me. You know, there's a free intro to coaching session. You can click on my website and go there. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage. You'll find all my socials. It's very easy just to send you to my webpage. Go there, join the mailing list. You'll get updates on events, all the good stuff. I love you. You'll get some inspiration, some laughs, because we're crazy, you know. We're regular people doing great stuff, you know.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Love you. Love to connect.
Yes. Listen, everybody, if you need to, look her up. If you don't need to, look her up. And again, like I said, this message today was something that I too am going to be listening to myself. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This was amazing. This was powerful. And again, we are definitely going to have you back soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. This
awesome.
This was great. This was absolutely amazing. You are amazing. For everybody who tunes in every single week, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for listening. To my partner, Miss Queen B, who is out tonight. We love you. We wish you healing and nothing but the best. And hopefully you'll be back with us next week. And on that note, I love you guys. God willing, we'll be here next week. Same time, same place, different topic. And good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. See you soon.
Bye.